Get with me, we in your city. We going dumb, we going turn, we going select. Get with me, we in your city.
Hey, what up, y'all? Man. Welcome back to another episode of the Real Mojo Point of View and Sports Reviews, the podcast edition. Hey, man, listen. I was supposed to do this show 12 hours ago. 12 hours ago, I was supposed to do this show. And it was like so much stuff going on in the sports world. I was actually excited, man. I've been away from the show for about a week or so. You know what I'm saying? I had a little bit of running around to do, but we back in full effect right now. Back in full effect, man. I'm gonna tell you right now, the NFL free agency started out with a bang. We're not there quite yet. I want to get to the main show topic. Well, one of the main show topics, because NFL free agency is one. But LeBron James is now part owner of the Boston Red Sox. How do you feel about that? He's a huge businessman. He's a smart businessman for a young guy. He got a lot going on business-wise, and he's probably going to be he's probably going to be the first basketball player active that's going to top the $1 billion mark. You know what I'm saying? Only at 36 years old now. And he's already a 2% owner of Liverpool, the English Premier League champion. So, that right there just shows that he got his hand in a lot more than basketball, and he's well versed in the business aspect of sports and where money's being made and what brings in money. And the funny thing is, everybody was saying, oh, he's like a crazy Yankee fan, or when Cleveland was in the World Series, he was all over Cleveland. Okay, but that's not what we're talking about right now. We're not talking about who he's a fan of right now. We're talking about what he's doing business-wise. Let me get this light right, y'all. Yeah, we talking about right now what he's doing business-wise. And he's doing big time business. You know what I'm saying? He's doing huge business right now. So instead of just jumping to the negative and the fandom and all that other stuff, let's give him his props, man. Let's give him his props on being a real good businessman at such an early age and having his mind focused. His eyes on the prize long term. And that shows because his biggest business partner is one of his best friends. You know what I'm saying? Matt Ricardo. They started Clutch Sports together, the sports agency, representing athletes and things of that nature. So, I just feel like I gotta give LeBron I gotta give him his props, man. He's definitely doing his damn thing business wise. I gotta give him all type of respect for that. And there has been some racial undertones coming from Black and Latin players about their experiences in Fenway. Some of the players that played here. So, hopefully some of that can change. I don't think it will so soon anyway. But what's going to happen is you're going to probably see him at a lot of Red Sox games. Well, not a lot, but you're going to probably see him at Red Sox games in the future. Obviously, I would say Cleveland versus the Red Sox and Yankees versus the Red Sox, since he's a huge Yankees fan. So we'll see. And I feel like he's growing up like many of us did. He'll see A-Rod and Jeter and those type of dudes. And I don't know that he's a huge Yankee fan, like deep down, but it's just like, first of all, it's New York. Second of all, he's seeing these huge famous dudes at the games at Yankee Stadium, and it's so synonymous with all this. It's New York, so he probably just like growing up, like, yeah, man, I like the Yankees too. Just the idea of the fact of what's going on, and that it's New York City and things of that nature. So, I think it's a good thing. Gilmore got traded. Oh man. Well, you know what though? I'm about to, you know what? I'm glad you brought that up. Like I said, I just wanted you. I don't know if you got anything to say about LeBron James buying into the Red Sox. I'm giving him props for that, but I'm about to jump right into that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm glad you brought up the Patriots, because even though they may have traded stuff on Gilmore, and see, that's breaking news. I didn't even hear that. I'm it's been so much going on. They definitely went grocery shopping. The Patriots definitely went grocery shopping, man. Listen, they went crazy today. Well, not today, but in this free agent period, since the free agent period started, the Patriots went crazy, man. They went crazy. Hang on. Let me get to what they did. And they got a lot of guys coming back. Also. So I kind of feel like Bill Belichick is gonna. They paid Gilmore a lot of money. He was the first guy they paid a lot of money to in a long time. So I kind of feel like, they feel like they can, with the additions that they got in free agency, and the guys coming back that opted out last year. I feel like they may feel like they got a big they got a jump on everybody else, and that he can get back to Bill Belichick can get them back to prominence, because after 20 dominant years, this year wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it was, but he did some real good things, man. He did some real good things, I believe, in free agency so far. Hang on, let me throw up there what they did, what the Patriots did. I mean, he spent a lot of money, He spent a lot of money. $137.5 million in guaranteed money over the past 2 days. And that's all free agents. And those are some of the names right there in their contracts. I believe he did a good job putting guys around Cam Newton. And the thing is, he didn't go get like and to my knowledge, Julian Edelman's still available to them. I'm not sure if he's a restricted free agent or if he's still under contract. So that in itself is going to be huge for the Patriots, you know, because he's gritty and tough. And then you put some guys on the outside that can stretch the field, and you cover them up with two real good tight ends, man. They just got two real good tight ends, you know. So I feel like this. I feel like they're about to get a Bills a run for that division again. You know, right now I still will give the advantage to the Bills, because now the big thing is gonna be coming down to Cam Newton's play. You know, he got weapons. He's gonna have a defense behind him. They was already fourth in the league in rushing. So now, you know, now it's gonna be, you know, what is Cam gonna do? Is Cam gonna be able to play ball like he used to? Because if Cam can still play, if Cam can give you we're not gonna see 2015. You know, we're not gonna see MVP Cam. But if Cam can give you 35 to 3,800 yards passing, what, 25 to 27, 28 touchdowns, low interceptions, and about 400 yards rushing, listen, they're going to be right there. They're going to just say, we took a break last year, and they're going to be right there. You know, the moves they just made and the guys that opted out last year coming back this year, if you know, everybody comes back, I know some guys are going to leave, some guys left, but the moves they just made in free agency and the opt-ins, they're already neck and neck, because they didn't do so bad against Buffalo last year. You know, I think Cam fumbled the ball when they was actually going down on a game tying or winning drive against Buffalo, and the guy came from behind and stripped the ball. So they didn't do so bad against Buffalo. It wasn't like they got wiped off the field against Buffalo. So, you know, what's going to happen is confidence, discipline. Belichick, he's going to put all those things in, and, you know, it's going to be kind of back to business as usual, you know, as close as they can get it, you know. Josh McDaniels got something up his sleeve. You know, he got something up his sleeve. And obviously they like Cam. They like what he did last year, or else he wouldn't be back. You know? And that's my thing. I feel like he didn't do as bad to me as a lot of people said. You know, there was no one to throw to, because when Julian Edelman was there, I believe Julian Edelman had the most yards he ever had in a game playing with Cam this year. They moved the ball real well up and down the field. Then he got hurt. Julian Edelman got hurt, and then, you know, it got rocky. N'Keal Harry hurt, not stepping up as a number one pick. You know, that was kind of he's kind of a dud. I would say N'Keal Harry's a dud. Matthew Slater had to play. Jacoby Myers was Cam's favorite target, so they're gonna fit him into the mix somewhere. Then you got James White, who's a Super Bowl MVP. Sony Michel, Damian Harris from Alabama. So, and then Cam Newton running the ball also behind a decent offensive line. So and then you got the two big tight ends who's gonna block, and who you know, they're gonna move the chains. So I feel like the Patriots, I'll give the Patriots, they were 7-9 this year. I will give them 10 wins next year. At least I'll give them a low ball of 10 wins. Just because There's a better understanding of COVID. Guys is gonna be vaccinated. Um, Guys are gonna be more careful throughout the league. So their opponents are gonna be more careful. They're gonna be more careful. The coaching staff. So a lot of those meetings that, oh, everybody's doing good. We had about 11, 12 days with no positive tests. Let's come in and do a meeting. Nah, those meetings are still gonna be on Zoom when you gotta sit inside as a group. Position meetings and coaches meetings, those are probably still going to be on. They might be in the facility, but they're still going to be on Zoom. That practice is practice. Still going to outside, plenty of ventilation. Even if you're in the bubble, your weather bubble, you're still gonna still gonna be plenty of ventilation and masks, and guys not doing a bunch of horsing around. It's gonna be distance as much as you can, but it's football. It's football, and dudes, the camaraderie and all that good stuff is gonna be there. So, but I feel like it's gonna be a little bit different though. They're gonna change their style a little bit. They may open it up if Cam's arm is looking good, because you got to understand he came off a foot injury and a shoulder. So a lot of last year was rehabbing for him and getting in shape, getting in playing shape, getting timing, getting to know the guys. I think this year, because he didn't get hurt this year. So I believe, the upcoming year, I believe is going to be him feeling better and able to do more things, throwing the ball. He picked up the playbook pretty well. Him and Josh McDaniels, they probably going to throw some things in that he's more comfortable with. Then he's going to pick a receiver. He's going to find one. Probably going to be Nelson Aguilar. It's going to be his deep threat. And Jonnu Smith. I would say those would be his top two receivers. Nelson Aguilar, Jonnu Smith, Julian Edelman, and James White. Probably in that order. Well, Hunter Henry, especially in the red zone. And that's probably going to be the order of it. But I feel like they just and you got to understand too, Carolina didn't have weapons like that Cam's last couple years, and the years he was healthy. They had Christian McCaffrey, but they just burned out. They burned him out. And now look at him last year. So that's kind of like a theme in Carolina, just ride till the wheels fall off. But he definitely went grocery shopping. I think Matthew Judon is going to be huge. He's going to be huge. Dietrich Wise Jr. going to be huge. Jalen Mills, like, I just feel like he did a lot of good things that, we hadn't seen as football fans out of New England in about 16, 17 years, because back when he got Randy Moss, they had Randy Moss and Wes Welker. They went over and got Corey Dillon one time. So, and that was big, because at the time Corey Dillon was having some, off the field locker room issues, but he was still top 10 talent in the league at that time. So, that was huge for them. So, they got Rodney Harrison once upon a time, Julian Sayah. So, they have done moves before, but nothing like this. Judon, Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Nelson Aguilar, Dietrich Wise, those guys right there are gonna be huge impact players, and then you go along with, and then you bring back Hightower and those guys, the McCourties coming back, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's gonna be something to see. There's gonna be something to watch up there. I feel like it's gonna be something to watch. And just as a whole, free agency just free agency just been booming, just as a whole. I feel like Tennessee Titans got Bud Dupree from Pittsburgh. I think my favorite move, my favorite move in free agency, I'm about to show you guys right now. Like the Bears, this is not the move I was talking about, but the Bears getting Andy Dalton. I feel like that's gonna be big. JJ Watt going to Arizona. Like Baltimore upgraded their offensive line. But let me get to the one, and obviously Dak signing a huge deal. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I missed so much, man, since I've been away. But this is my favorite deal. And they're saying Ryan Fitzpatrick's arrival won't keep Washington from drafting a quarterback, but Fitzmagic is in Washington. Now think about it. Think about that. Great defense. One of the better defenses in the league. The best defensive line in the league by far. And now you add Ryan Fitzpatrick to the mix. You add Ryan Fitzpatrick to the mix. That team is going to be really, really tough. It's a real young team. Let me get their free agents up here. Outside of Ryan Fitzpatrick, William Jackson. They signed William Jackson, cornerback. And they gave him pretty good money too. They gave him pretty good money. 3-year deal, $42 million. So, yeah, I was almost about to call them their old name. But yeah, the Washington football team, they did pretty good. I just feel like, all in all, this free agency was like long awaited, and it wasn't. The same time every other year, but I just feel like a lot of people was just looking and waiting to see what some of these quarterbacks was gonna go. Chicago said they pushed real hard for Russell Wilson, and then the Seahawks came back and told them that they're not going to trade him. So, what can you do? What can you do if you're Chicago? So then they still get a viable quarterback. They got Andy Dalton. So yeah, they still ended up with Andy Dalton. So that in itself is going to make their team better. He's better than the quarterbacks they had or whoever would be on the bench. He's better than their quarterbacks of 2020. So they didn't really go wrong. And then Jacoby Brissett ends up in Miami. So Tua will struggle at times. So as Tua's struggling at times, you're gonna get Jacoby Brissett coming in, which is he's a real good quarterback to me. I appreciate watching him. And he did some good things in New England, did some great things in Indianapolis. Of course, and the thing is, him and Tua, if they have open competition, who's to say that he wouldn't be able to beat Tua in in a competition, in a quarterback competition. So, you know, that in itself is like pressure, you know, and what do we think is going to happen down in New Orleans? What do we think's happening in New Orleans? Because Drew Brees did call it quits. Is it going to be Taysom Hill? Or is it going to be Jameis eat the W Winston? I don't know. You know, who do you think takes over? Who takes over in New Orleans? Honestly, if it was up to me, I would go with Jameis Winston just because I would keep with the same philosophy that they got. You know, have your starter and then let Taysom Hill come in goal line and short yardage gadget plays in the middle of the field. You know, you can put Taysom Hill. You can put him in any time. You can put him in any time. You know, you can put him in to run the ball. He's like 6'3", 240, and running a 4.4, 4.3. So he's a special athlete. So, you know, you can throw the ball to him. You can hand the ball off to him. You can line him up at tight end. You can line him receiver, running back. So he can do a number of things for the team. And, you know, then you have Jameis Winston and got a crazy arm. He's gonna move the ball. He's gonna excite the crowd. He's gonna get everybody hyped up, you know. And then Sean Payton could calm that situation down, throw Taysom Hill in when it's turnover time, like the red zone and you know, short yardage, things of that nature, or long yardage, you know, 2nd and 16, just in case, like if he takes a sack or whatever, 2nd and 16, or you know, something like that. You can leave. You can put Taysom Hill in on because he knows what you want. He knows exactly what you want. He's comfortable in the position. He's been there for, you know, what, 3-4 years. So I don't think you can really go wrong with Taysom Hill. So at any point in time in the game, you know, you can't go wrong. You know, you won't go wrong with Taysom Hill at any point in time in the game. So it's just a matter of time before Jameis turns the ball over. You know, hopefully studying under Drew and Sean Payton for a whole year, hopefully he got some type of understanding of how important it is to protect the ball and keep the ball, keep possession of the ball, you know. Double coverage, I don't care if it is Michael Thomas. You know, you get rid of it. They lost Emmanuel Sanders, so, you know, the defense will be able to slide more, but you also got Alvin Kamara. So, you know, they just got a multitude of weapons. You know, you can lose 1 or 2 weapons and you still got a multitude of weapons there. So, Aaron Jones signed back with Green Bay. Dude, I really felt like I just missed so much over the past week. And I was trying to get things together to put things together, and you know, things just happening, and then the Patriots is just dropping bombs all like the last 2 days. The Patriots just been dropping bombs. I was watching the news and you know, they was talking about the moves, and then and they just signed. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, wow. It's like every you know, few seconds it was just something going on. You know, every few seconds, you know, every hour or so there was something going on in New England. I'm trying to see because Josh said they traded Stephon Gilmore. I didn't even see that. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even see it. So I'm about to look right now and see. Let's see if I see that. And that was probably like he probably saw that flashing across his screen. Titans also got Janoris Jenkins. They released Adoree Jackson. So Titans just tightened up their defense. I'll tell you that. Even though they lost Jonnu Smith. Jaguars, they signed Marvin Jones, 2 years, $14.5 million. Tyrod Taylor with so now this is interesting. Tyrod Taylor just signed a 1-year deal with the Houston Texans. So that means for sure that Deshaun Watson is going to sit out if he's not traded. And I'm pretty sure they know he wasn't joking. You know, I'm pretty sure they know he wasn't joking. Pittsburgh cut Vince Williams. You know, on 8 years. I'm a Steelers fan, so that kind of hurt. You know, they let him go. Even though Devin Bush can hold it down. He can hold it down. But I like Vince Williams. And Vince only 31. You know, he's only 31. So, I don't know. I was trying to confirm, you know, that the Patriots traded Stephon Gilmore. I don't see it anywhere. That would be breaking news because he's a recent Defensive Player of the Year. I felt like that would have been breaking news. Still looking for it, though. I'm still looking for it because I don't see it right now, that don't mean it didn't happen. Yeah, that don't mean it didn't happen. I'm about to check. Yeah, the Patriots were 7-9 last year. 7-9. Yeah, I don't see the news on Stephon Gilmore. And it was probably like one of the sources say he probably heard it from a source, you know, so it might come up on the it might come across the ticker in the morning. Yeah, it might come across the ticker in the morning. I didn't see it, but I'm pretty sure if he saw it somewhere, or it could have just been like they're in the works. They're trying to get him right now, But either way, that's huge too, because if you trade him, if it's in fact a trade, the value you could get for him is going to be huge in building, depth or strengthening your team too in whatever way. The value of Stephon Gilmore, that's going to be huge. Like I said, he was 2019 Defensive Player of the Year. So that right there in itself is and he's still a real good player. He's still a real good player. He ended up having COVID at some point this season. So it was just bad with the COVID. This season was pretty bad. But I think they held it together pretty good, though. I think the NFL did a real good job holding it together. But it was just bad. It was dangerous. It was scary. It was people. Just didn't know what to expect. That's why you had so many guys opt out. And I think the Patriots had like 6 or 7 on defense opt out. So, and that was huge. Again, that was huge, having their record as, what it was, 7-9. But those opt-ins, the vaccinations, people a bit more educated on the virus. People are a bit more educated, so I believe it's gonna make for a better season, a safer season for the guys, which is the main thing. We don't really care who wins or loses. Everybody want their team to win, but you just want the guys to be safe and go entertain, get their money, man, take care of the family without no mishaps. So that's the number one thing that everybody's fingers across for. That in the NBA, you just want the guys to be safe and all that. But yeah, man, where's everybody at, man? I know it's late, man. I'm 12. Man, listen, had to do school. The kids are still doing school from home on the computer, so I was supposed to go to the studio, do the show earlier today about 1:30, and I'm almost 12 hours late, but I'm here. I'm here. I did it, man. I had to do it. I had to come through. Had to come through, man. I don't know that you know what? Too, there was a boxing match on over the weekend. Shout out to Clarissa Shields. She headlined the all female card, and she, of course, she ended up winning. I'm glad she moved on. I'm glad she got herself like off the Layla Ali thing. That was kind of annoying to me. That was annoying to me because that's that. First of all, it's never gonna happen. Second of all, I had Clarissa Shields winning easy, just due to the fact that they flip flop. She was 24, Layla Ali was 42. She's active, probably one of the top 2 or 3 skilled female boxers that we ever seen. Probably the most skilled female boxer that we ever seen. Layla Ali been out of the sport at the time 10 plus years. So, and Layla Ali's the type, she don't really, it's still supposed to be about her. She don't want to see, she's a Jerry Rice type. You ask Jerry Rice who's the best receiver in the league, he's gonna somehow get to they'll never break my record. That's the type of dude he is. That's the type of person she is. Asking her, does she respect Layla? Does she respect Clarissa Shields? She turned around talking about what she would do to her. Like, man, it's over. The time's over. You had your time. You used it well. You shined. Now just let it go. Just let it go. Nobody want to let go. Mike Tyson in the gym, and they immediately jump to, he can beat guys now. We'll give him a belt right now. We'll rank him number 10 right now. Man, listen, man, we got to stop this. We got to stop this, y'all. Like, really, we got to stop it. Serious business. We really got to stop. It won't ever stop, but in all realistic, we got to stop. It's to the point, man, we're just like, enough is enough. Enough is enough. And then they do it like with Clarissa Shields. She could probably beat some of the guys. She can't beat none of the guys. Her weight class. She can't. She just can't. I mean, just let her be great at what she is. She's the GOAT. That's just it. Let it happen. Sit back, watch it, enjoy it, respect it. That's all you can do. There's nobody you pulling out the hat to beat her. Go over to UFC. No, why? Why? She's a boxer. Let somebody come in the ring and beat her in the ring. She's a boxer. Let somebody come beat her, in what they do and what she does. What's the point of her going somewhere? She's 25. So you train for 6 months in the UFC. It's a setup for failure. Don't fall for it. No one can beat you. Clarissa, no one can beat you. It's not your fault. That's their fault. I mean, I would say step your game up to them. That's what she should tell them. Step your game up. They wasn't born with the ability. They didn't put in the work you put in. So they're not going to beat you. I mean, she just pitched a shutout the other day. Like, they're not going to beat you. So just let it, just let it ride. And people giving her bad advice. Yeah, go to the UFC. Why? Go to the UFC. It doesn't matter if you win or lose, but you're going to get banged up. You're going to get injured. You're not going to be the same when you finish. So then when you go back to boxing, you lose because you got some injury that you don't want to, I'm hurt. So you don't want to look like you backing out or, you bowing down. So you go fight, lose, and then everybody's talking the biggest upset ever, but it's really not though. Don't let no one set you up to fail. Don't let no one set you up to fail. Like, people was like, oh, Conor McGregor, he's a bum because he lost to Floyd Mayweather. No, he's not. Conor McGregor is not. First of all, Conor McGregor is not the greatest UFC fighter of all time. Then he went and fought the greatest boxer of all time, at that weight class. And I don't think no one was surprised he lost. I don't think no one was upset that he lost. I mean, it was just silly. It was silly. I mean, he was tired after the second round. He was done after the second round. Silly. He didn't fail because he got a huge, huge payday that he never made in UFC altogether. But had Floyd went over to a UFC and tried to wrestle and that's a setup for failure. And he wasn't going to get the money that Conor McGregor made stepping over somewhere else. So Clarissa Shields, be the GOAT, stay the GOAT, and let them come to you. Let them heavy bags come to you. You know what I'm saying? You don't got nothing to prove to anybody with a brain going to fight in the UFC. For what? You're a boxer. No boxer can beat you. It's not your problem. Not your fault. Keep doing what you do, and that's that. That's all you could do. That's all you could do. Keep doing you, man. And on that note, I'm out of here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. This will be going up on the podcast, all major streaming services. Like, subscribe, share the video, drop comments. If I touched on a topic about your team, let me know how you feel about it. Let me know who your team is. Drop comments on how you feel they did in free agency. If you're upset like me at the Steelers for letting Bud Dupree go. Bud should have been paid. You know what I'm saying? Letting Vince Williams go. I'm upset about that. I don't know, man. The Real Mojo point of view, sports reviews, 12 hours late, but I was here, man. So listen, check me out. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow, the next day. We here. We back, man. We back on track. All right, man. Y'all have a good one.
Get with me, we in your city. We going, turn, we going select.